Hello everyone, I hope everyone's having a great evening so far. Tonight we'll be covering the severe weather threat that's ongoing today, Tuesday the 23rd, and then we'll also be looking at tomorrow, Wednesday the 24th, and looking into Thursday the 25th. We won't be going as in depth on Thursday's severe weather threat, but we'll be just kind of looking at an overview of that, but we'll kind of get into a deeper dive of today's and tomorrow's threat. So as of the latest 2 p.m. Central Standard Time update, there is a marginal risk in Texas and into parts of Louisiana. This marginal risk pretty much extends from southern Texas into western Louisiana and to central Louisiana. There's also a 2% tornado risk with this, a 5% wind risk with this, and a 5% hail risk. For tomorrow, Wednesday the 24th, there is a marginal risk that extends from Texas all the way into a little bit of Alabama. This marginal risk includes Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, and a little bit of Alabama. There's also a 2% tornado risk in this area right here, a 5% wind risk in this area, and a 5% hail risk in this area. For Thursday, January the 25th, there's also another marginal risk up for Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. There's currently a 5% chance of severe weather in this area as of right now, and the only reason there isn't a tornado, hail, and wind risk areas issued is because those factors are not issued until a outlook that is day 2 or day 1. So if we look on the GFS, this is the 18Z GFS. This is our system that is currently bringing severe weather to the south, and this system will continue to move northeast, and the pattern is pretty much like this, where these lows continue to ride up into here in this area, and they're pretty much moving above this high pressure right here. And as you can see, here's our systems, and they will continue to move northeast and right over that high pressure. But these will be the systems that deliver the rain and severe weather over the next few days to the south. And if we keep this going here, these will continue to move northeast, and then 120 hours out we have another low pressure that we'll eventually be talking about, but I'm sure this could deliver some snow or severe weather with that too. But we're mainly just going to be talking about these systems here. So not only will severe weather be a threat with these systems, excessive rainfall will also be a major threat with this. For today, January the 23rd, there's a moderate risk up for parts of Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana, with a slight risk extending all the way around that. And then the marginal risk around that slight goes all the way up into parts of Missouri, Arkansas again, Tennessee, Mississippi, and into Texas and in Oklahoma as well. For day 2, there was another moderate risk issued, which is at least 40% chance of a rainfall exceeding flash flood guidance within 25 miles of any given point in here. So we have the moderate risk here, and this extends from Louisiana into Mississippi and into Alabama a little bit, and then into Texas a little bit, with a slight risk around that going from Texas all the way to Kentucky. And this goes into Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and Arkansas, with a marginal risk around that extending all the way from Texas all the way up to Columbus, Ohio. And this marginal risk goes into Indiana, Kentucky, parts of North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Arkansas, and Texas. And for day 3, we have a slight risk that goes from West Virginia all the way down to Texas, with a slight risk in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, as well as Louisiana, with the marginal risk from Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and into Alabama and Florida. For day 4, there is a marginal risk in Oklahoma, as well as another marginal and slight risk, with the marginal risk from Georgia all the way down to Louisiana, with a slight risk inside of that extends from pretty much central Alabama all the way to far eastern Louisiana and into Florida as well. For day 5, there's a marginal risk in northern Georgia into South Carolina and North Carolina and into Virginia. So as I'm recording this video, there are 4 flash flood warnings currently issued right now, and there's one in Arkansas, another one in Arkansas that kind of goes into northern Louisiana a little bit, another one that goes from Louisiana to Texas, and another one in Texas. The 18Z HRRR. These storms will pretty much continue to move through Texas and Louisiana, with the a little bit of a tornado threat there still, and as well as the wind threat and the hail threat. And these will kind of continue to move out throughout the night and in the morning hours tomorrow. As these storms kind of continue to move up with this system, we have these other storms into Texas and Louisiana early tomorrow morning, and these will definitely have a chance to produce damaging winds and a flood threat as well. These storms will continue to move east throughout the day and will move throughout the deep south as the day goes on, with the wind threat still persisting throughout much of this, as well as the flood threat being another big issue. So thankfully with today's threat, there's not going to be too much of a low-level jet, but there is still a decent low-level jet that'll continue throughout northern Louisiana and Arkansas this evening. But then as we get into the early morning hours tomorrow, there's going to be a low-level jet that can kind of amplifies over Louisiana, and this could definitely be a issue and promoting factor towards tornadoes and the damaging wind threat. We have a kind of a 40 upper 30s to a lower 40 knot low-level jet that will persist throughout the early morning hours tomorrow, and this will kind of keep moving throughout the deep south, and this will continue to kind of strengthen a little bit. So with this evening's threat, there's not going to be definitely not too much instability that the storms can work with, but it will continue to uptick a little bit late tonight. You know, we have Cape values here of almost 1500 joules per kilogram, which isn't a bunch, but it's sufficient for these storms. So we have pretty much the same thing showing up with the 3 kilometer NAM here, with these storms tonight not really being too significant. And these storms kind of continue throughout Texas and then northern Louisiana throughout tonight, and they will continue to move east. And then as the HRRR was showing, tomorrow the line of storms will kind of start to form, and these storms will continue to move east, with that wind threat being with that line tomorrow more towards the lunchtime period throughout Louisiana and Mississippi. And with any storms behind there that can kind of keep going too, they will definitely promote a tornado threat too, with a wind threat. So the NAM does show more of a widespread amplified low-level jet tomorrow morning, which is kind of a concern if there is some instability that kind of builds into these areas right here in Louisiana and Mississippi. And you know, early tomorrow morning, the NAM shows up with a upper 50 to 60 knot low-level jet, which will contribute towards the tornado threat as well as a wind threat with this for sure. And this, as you can kind of see here, this will basically be where the line of storms is, and this will drive that wind threat to tomorrow. So I meant to kind of make a more of a cutoff to where we were talking about tomorrow, but now we're really going to start talking about tomorrow's threat. And as I was just talking about a second ago with the NAM and that low-level jet showing up into Louisiana and Mississippi, here's this line of storms that will bring heavy rain and some wind, as well as that a low-end tornado threat as well. And these will continue to move east throughout the day. And it looks like the NAM wants to show more storms kind of developing tomorrow evening that gain strength throughout the night. And if some of these are isolated enough, they can cause some problems for sure. So if we look toward our dew points and stuff, you can see. So this evening we have those dews moving up into Louisiana and Texas with that low-level jet, and then as we were talking about earlier with that low-level jet kind of spiking up towards the night, those will definitely bring those more saturated mid-60s dew points to Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, and then they spike right before lunchtime tomorrow. And as you can see here, we have low 70, 71 dew points and upper 60s dew points, which is plenty enough for instability for sure. So if we take a look at tomorrow's temperatures, you have pretty much temperatures closer to the dew points, with the upper 60s throughout the deep south, and then you have some 70s down in Louisiana and probably into Florida. And this will be towards lunchtime tomorrow around 12 or 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. But these temperatures will top out around the upper 60s to 70 range. This will help aid that instability and help these storms grow. So if we look at the 18Z GFS, the rain totals will definitely be pretty high with these next few systems. As you can see in Louisiana and Mississippi, you have rain values up to almost 7 inches showing up on the 18Z GFS, and then pretty much widespread 3 to 4 inches in Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Mississippi, and this goes all the way to Saturday. And these rain totals this rain will definitely cause problems if it falls fast enough in some of these areas. Same thing with the 18Z HRRR, definitely showing some high values in Louisiana and then maybe Arkansas as well. But this could definitely cause problems this evening, tomorrow, and throughout Thursday as well into Friday. And then if we take a look at the NAM, it pretty much shows similar values with the rain totals. So this goes all the way to late Thursday night, but you have 4 to 5 inches showing up across Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi. And as I said earlier, this could definitely cause big problems. You even have 7-8 inches showing up on the NAM here, which is pretty substantial. So just real quick, we'll kind of take a look at Thursday's storms. So as you have these storms kind of going east tomorrow evening for tomorrow's event, they'll continue to move east and kind of move up into Tennessee and northern Alabama, Mississippi, and Georgia. And there'll be another line that starts intensifying kind of towards the Texas, Louisiana area, and these storms will continue to move east throughout the day on Thursday. And again, with the wind, hail, and tornado threat will be here kind of more in these areas right here, as I showed you earlier on the Storm Prediction Center's outlook. But these storms will continue to move east throughout the day, and they'll start to fizzle out in the evening on Thursday. That's going to pretty much be it for tonight's update. These are the 4 flash flood warnings that are still in effect in these areas here, and that should be about it. I should have another update probably tomorrow, but I'm not too sure. But like I said yesterday, I'm still learning, so these videos aren't going to be anywhere near perfect, but I'll definitely try to improve over time. I know this video is pretty jumbled up, but just definitely know in the comments if y'all have any suggestions or anything I can improve on, or anything y'all want to see that I didn't cover or anything. But that's going to be about it, and I hope everyone has a great evening.